engineering, and now she works at the Jet Propulsion Labs down in Pasadena. Janelle, how did you get to where you are?
That's a great question. To be honest, when I signed the contract to start working and it said that I was going to be an instrument operations engineer, I didn't even know what that meant. I was just happy that I was accepted. To break down what my job is, basically, is that I am the person who controls the instruments on a variety of spacecraft. So spacecraft that I have worked on are, if you've heard of Cassini, that was at Saturn, the mission ended last year. I wrote the commands and monitored the health and safety for the cameras on that spacecraft. And right now working on a lunar project and an Earth observing project, and they're both doing amazing things. So I can always talk to anyone about that if you're interested afterwards. So how did I get there? Oh my goodness, I could never have imagined that one day I could say that I worked for NASA. Never, ever, ever. When I grew up, my parents, neither one of them were in engineering at all. But you know, they did something really special that changed my life, and that's that they didn't restrict me. And this had a huge effect, because when you grow up and there's these societal things that are assigned to who you are, it really can change your outlook on what you can and cannot be. So my dad, when I was born, my dad really wanted a son. I was the firstborn. He got me instead. And as a result of that, I was not restricted to the pink aisle when we went to Toys R Us. And that inspired me to like whatever I thought was interesting. And one of those big things is video games, and I'm still into them now. But because of this, I think it also affected what I could and couldn't like in school. So going through school, I liked art a lot. I really liked reading. I still do. I liked writing. I loved mathematics. History was, it was a little hard. But I liked a multitude of things. You don't have to come from a strictly science kind of mind in order to end up in that kind of position later on in life. And you should really take that to heart. So basically my journey was that I didn't know what MIT was when I was in high school, but junior year you get a bunch of pamphlets from colleges that tell you, hey, come apply to our school. And in this case, it was a pamphlet that said to apply to a summer program. I was gonna throw it in the trash with all the other mail that I got, but my mom said, don't throw that away, that's a good school. And I was like, oh my goodness. That means I have to write 5 essays, I have to submit all this documentation. Oh, it's such a waste of time. And then later on, when I talked to my classmates about, you know, I think I might do this summer program, they said, do you know what that school is? That's impossible to get into. Do you know what you've gotten yourself into? And I was like, Mom, you really did waste my time. But sure enough, she didn't, because I did get accepted. And you know, that's another point I want to touch on, that you cannot, every opportunity that you don't take is a missed opportunity. If I didn't do that, I really highly doubt that I would have applied to MIT and got accepted there. So, you know, it's a snowball effect. Then lastly, how did I make the jump from school to working at NASA? It's quite interesting, because I went in wanting to be a mathematician, a theoretical mathematician. That's what I really liked in high school. And I took some classes, but it's MIT and they want you to do an intro to engineering class as well. So I decided on aerospace engineering because I like space a lot. And I get to the class, my professor's going over the syllabus, and he says, and here's a picture of an astronaut fixing the Hubble telescope. That was me back in the day. And I was like, I'm being taught by an astronaut. So there's another opportunity. How often do you get the chance to be taught by an astronaut? And I took it. And as an aerospace engineer, everyone knows about JPL and all the amazing things they do in space. And after that, it was just a matter of applying and applying, getting rejected and rejected, and then finally applying and being accepted as a full-time engineer. So there's my journey for you.
Next is Aaron Cunningham, who's the global makerspace lead at Google. He leads a